Dr. Thokozile Chitepo, who is also Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Youth, Sports, Arts and Recreation, and Mr. Mufiri, Second Secretary and Vice President of ZANU-PF, Honorable KCD Moadi, in absentia, Minister of Defense and War Veterans Affairs, Honorable OCZ Mchinguri Kashiri, Minister of State for Provincial Affairs and Devolution for Matabele North Province, Honorable Richard Moyo, Minister of Youth, Sports, Arts and Recreation, Honorable Dr. Kest Coventry, ZANU-PF Politburo Secretary for Gender and Culture, Honorable Tim Kushi, and other members of the Politburo and Revolutionary ZANU-PF Party here present. Other honorable ministers here present. Deputy Minister for Youth, Sports, Arts and Recreation, Honorable Tino Machakaire, and other honorable deputy ministers here present. Chairpersons of the Chapter 12 commissions, the chairperson of the Portfolio Committee on Youth, Sport and Arts and Recreation, Honorable Tongofa, and all Parliamentary Portfolio Committee chairpersons and all honorable members of Parliament and Senate here present. Director for Social Development, Culture and Sport, African Union, Ms. Sise Mariama Mohammed, represented by the Chief Executive Secretary for Africa Academy of Languages, Dr. L.F. Ndaba. Your Worship, the Mayor of the City of Victoria Falls, Councillor S. Jamini, the Secretary General of the Zimbabwe National Commission for UNESCO, Ms. M. Chirapa, UNESCO Regional Director for Southern Africa, Professor L.A. Brito, senior government officials led by the Deputy Chief Secretary in the Office of the President and Cabinet, Reverend Damasani, heads of government departments and agencies here present, esteemed members of the National Languages Advisory Committee, other language experts, civic organization, cultural and creative industry players here present. Our traditional leadership, led by the President of the Chiefs Council, Chief Fortune Charumbira, asizvikurusei tinokudza chief wange vane nzvimbo yatakagaya takatsika muno. Members of the CREG, members of the academia, members of the media fraternity, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning to you all. I am humbled with the honor bestowed upon me to introduce our guest of honor at the official opening of the National Languages Conference here in the city of Victoria Falls. This is home to the majestic Mosa Tunya, the conference which is running under the theme redefining the role of Zimbabwean languages for national development towards Vision 2030 and beyond, provides a platform for the critical dialogue amongst various stakeholders to clearly define the role of indigenous languages as key ingredients for sustainable development of our country. As a nation, it is acknowledged that we are making great strides towards recognizing our local languages as the generic media for asserting ourselves and preserving our cultural value systems. I am sure most of you will agree with me that our country, continental Africa, and the rest of the then colonized world had now downplayed our own indigenous languages in preference of Western-imposed languages. This robbed us of the right to use our own mother languages, as the oppressors sought to trivialize our identity, unity, and cohesion as a way to entrench colonialism. Hence, the continued fantasizing and use of English and other vestiges of the colonial past in most of our daily communication at the expense of our indigenous languages needs to be reviewed. It is important to note that this National Languages Conference is indeed a timely reminder that we need to change the status quo. Under the leadership of the guest of honor, we commemorated our Cultural Month in May. We leveraged on our diverse cultures, looked back into our origins, talked in our mother languages, cooked and ate our rich, nutritious, and traditional foods, and carried on with our daily lives, centered on who we are as Africans, Sevanu Vatema, Abandu Avesundu. Distinguished guests, being proudly Zimbabwean, let us all follow the social footsteps of our guest of honor and enjoy the use of our indigenous languages to express the full story of our traditional cuisine. Let us communicate effectively in our languages as we play our traditional musical instruments with mastery and majestically dance in our African music. I hope the Honorable Minister will learn how to kick dance, as she said. Let us be happy to express ourselves indigenously and reveal to our African contemporary attire with affection and symbolic touch. Let us emulate the guest of honor and continue to teach and nurture our children about our totems, folklore, and heroes of the first and second Chiwenga Umvukela. Our rich history of gallant revolutionaries. Above all, let us sing from the heart and soul, using the persevering medium of our indigenous languages. Ladies and gentlemen, this is indeed the beautiful story of our indigenous languages. They lie at the heart of our guest of honor, represent our values, and personify the Ubuntu, unu in us. Our guest of honor is alive to the need to reclaim the value of our local languages so that we can walk tall among nations as we develop and use them in daily, formal, and informal transactions. Our guest of honor has fought for asserting the recognition and rights of his people, including the legitimate right to use their indigenous languages. Even as he sits at the helm of the Second Republic, he continues to advance his people's cultural heritage rights inherent in languages to bring about economic development by ensuring that communication uses our indigenous languages across all sectors. It is therefore not in doubt that indigenous languages are key in promoting and preserving our pristine arts and enduring cultural values. Thus, it provides us with the necessary national identity that binds us in our diversity. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to invite our guest of honor, who is the President of the Republic of Zimbabwe and Commander-in-Chief of the Zimbabwe Defense Forces, His Excellency, Comrade Dr. Emmerson Dambudzo Mnangagwa, to address us and the nation at large. I thank you, Tatenda Siabonga Twalumba. You are